I've been working in the Tron Bike over here, the facilities of the Parker Brothers for 2 weeks. This is my second week on the Tron Bike. They already actually have built 2 bodies for this Tron Bike. This is what they call the 3rd generation, and I'm in charge of building the 3rd generation of the Tron Bike. But this one is going to be the best one they had so far. I mean, this one is going to be so close to the original, to the one in the movie. I'm actually doing a lot of the details, they are in the original, as close as we can. At this time, we're not going to be building the back piece that goes right in here in the back of the driver. That's going to come in the future because I'm actually engineering a complete back piece where the rider goes into the bike is going to sense the driver is on, and then the back piece is actually going to come out electronically, and it's going to go around the back of the rider, but that's going to come ahead in the future because we didn't have the time. I mean, this bike has to be ready for next week. I just had the measuring system on so I can start measuring, and making it all symmetrical. I mean, you can go anywhere in the bike and you can measure anything, all the way back there, all the way in here. You can turn this. There is not a millimeter that I cannot actually measure on this bike with this measuring system. I haven't really actually finished it. I was waiting, for all the measuring stick-on measuring tape so I can actually put them all on and then paint it really nice. So maybe that's going to be probably for the next bike. When I did the whole measuring system, if I can call it engineer the whole measuring system, I'm not an engineer. It's just my experience over all of these years. I always like to make my own tools for every job that I have done. So when I saw that I could make the measuring system, I actually said to myself, well, I can actually use a lot of the measuring system to actually build my own tools, and that's where I came up with the idea of all the tools that I actually make, and it will be a couple more while I'll progress. Okay, this is one of my tools over here. This spreader is 1/16, just 1/16 shorter than the sander. So the buildup is going to be 1/16 above the sander. So I'll spread all the body filler in here, all the way around the ring in the inside. And when I spread all of the body filler, then I'll put my sander in here. This is going to be the out because I'm making a little coming down this way a little bit. So when we have to pull it out of the mold, it doesn't stay in there. It just comes out easy out of it. And what I do, I put 2 nuts in here and 2 nuts here, and I lock it on place. Then I'll sand all the way around. Then from the outer ring over here, I also have my own spreader that I did that. But when you have the 2 nuts in place, it won't move at all. It's gonna go straight where it's supposed to go. I spread all of the body filler again, all the way around, with the angle that I need. I mean, this is welded. It's just a spreader. That's all it is. And then I have my sander. I bring my sander in, and then I sand all the way around. This is 40 grit, and I'm gonna take it all the way down to 80, and then I'll probably block it with 180 and prime it. Okay, this tool goes right in here, and this goes right there. And what that does, that sands that. This spreader is actually the one that I use over here as well. With this, it goes to this hole right here, and then I spread my body filler right here. I spread my body filler all the way around, and what that gives you is an even edge all the way around the panel here. And then all you have to do is just come around it with the sander here and just scuff it around it all the way around, and then finish it, with 80 and 180 before you prime it. I mean, a lot of this stuff is going to be by hand, but I actually have some power tools that I attach. This machine over here, which you're going to see me work on it later, and this machine, what it does, it makes this part over here flat all the way around. It makes it completely symmetrical. What I do, I secure the tool. You got it like that. I also have this other tool over here that I make, with an air tool, and that's to do to actually get this part over here all the way around. this bike actually is very rough right now. It's very rough stages right now. I mean, I'm still doing foam around here. I got to do more foam in the front. This is completely rough over here. I mean, this has to be worked out completely right in the front. This is actually one of my favorite parts of this bike, is the way the front looks, you know, with all of the lights and the rings over here, you know, the way the rings look. The older bike, it had, you know, like a flat ring in there. I think I have it around here. This actually was the very first one that they did. And if you see, you know, I mean, it's not round at all. You know, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, it's not really round. This was the first Tron Bike that they was done, you know, and the second one, you know, it was a little better, but you know, it's just a flat piece of plexiglass with the light tape all the way around the wheels, or all the way around the body, where over here, you know, my idea was to actually make it look more like the original to the movie, which it has. This is my scale model that I have over here. If you can see, you know, I mean, the ring actually tapers, it actually goes down, you know, and it has these rings that I created here, so I can, and I have this custom made, you know, or we have all this custom made, you know, for this bike, so we'll look more to like the original, you know, the tappers, you know, out, and it's gonna give it a better look. And then the light, before you can just see the light from the side, now, you know, you're gonna be able to see the lights from the rear and the front. If the bike is coming at you, you're gonna be able to see the lights, you know, out here, because this is gonna be all glass right here, plexiglass all the way around, with the light tape inside, and that's gonna glow to the outside, and you're gonna be able to see the more lighting in the bike. This model over here is what I got. You know, you know, when I work, when I do any carving in any car or any bike, whatever the job is, you know, I like to have a scale model, or, you know, pictures. I have, you know, a lot of pictures of this bike, you know, that I have here, you know, that I looked at for details. But, you know, in something like this, I mean, this is just a toy, so I have to actually establish my own scale that I'm gonna go by, you know, for the bike. So I actually measure this scale over here, and I determine, you know, what scale is actually the bike that we were working with, you know, the wheelbase we were working with, and I actually establish my own scale, and I do all of my numbers, you know, and I upscale, you know, this here, you know, I mean, I multiply, like this one I determined was like a 16 scale of the bike that I'm building. So, you know, any measurement that I take out of this bike, I multiply it by 16, and it comes, you know, to the 1-to-1 scale that I need, you know. I don't use very much of this bike because, you know, I mean, it's just a toy, but, you know, I just get a rough idea, and then with the pictures, you know, it'll be a lot easier, you know, if I can be working with real cut files, or, you know, real measurements, that I can actually establish, you know, all of my points, that, you know, I mean, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna come out, you know, just like the original in the movie, you know. Like I said before, you know, the back piece is the only fixture that is gonna actually miss in this build, because we don't have the time right now to build it, and it has to be completely engineered. You know, I'm very, very, very particular with my work, and, you know, I really, if it's not going to be like the original, you know, it's not going to be like the factory product, you know, I really don't want it to be involved with. So that's why, you know, I actually haven't, you know, the whole back piece engineered, so it will work, you know, it actually will work with the bike. By the end of this week, you know, I mean, we're really going to have, you know, a complete, you know, finished product, you know. I'm actually bringing more help this week, because it has to be done this week, so I'm bringing in 2 more guys that are going to actually be helping me, John and Colby. So they're going to be helping me with the project this week, and my goal is just to actually finish it, you know, already all painted and finished, you know. So the plug. This is just the plug, you know. And after the plug is done, you know, what I like to do actually when I'm working on this type of project is actually to finish, you know, the project like it's going to be a showroom piece. And I block it and I sand it, wet sand it, and buff it so the surface can be very slick. And then I'll wax it all completely. And in the top of the wax, then I'll do all my molds, you know. So this is going to be a finished product. When I'm finished with it, it's going to be a showroom piece, but it actually has to look that way. So the molds, you know, can take the whole shape. And then when I make my bodies out of the molds, you know, they're going to look exactly a finished product, just like the plug was when I finished it before the molds.